We have here on 2026 the Rehab Telethon, all your favorites, and this guy truly is a legend who believes in the mission of the Rehab Center. I was thinking back when I first I met Red. I knew him as an actor more than anything else. I've seen him in so many Western themes. The Texas Commission on the Arts has named him the Poet Laureate of Texas. He is a member of the Texas Country Music Hall of Fame, the Texas Cowboy Hall of Fame, and the Texas Literary Hall of Fame. He's in every Hall of Fame except the National Football League, I believe. Anyway, he's, Red, we love you over there, buddy. He's equally at home visiting the Rehab Center or right here on our stage. Are we all set over there, gentlemen? All right. Please give a warm welcome to a cowboy icon. With the boys in the bunkhouse, here is Red Steagall, everybody.
Thank you, Charlie. Thank you so much. It's a tremendous honor for me to be here tonight. It's very emotional because I'm ending my job as the honorary chairman for Roundup for Rehab. It has been the bright spot of my life for 26 years, and people in this audience tonight have become extremely close friends, and I admire everything you do to help neighbor, helping neighbor. And that's what it's all about, and I truly believe with all my heart that this is where America lives, where we belong to each other, and we belong to the land, and we make sure that we keep both of them as safe as we possibly can. This is the greatest nation on the face of this earth. We are the most blessed and highly favored people because the Lord allows us to live a lifestyle that we dearly love and we treasure. And we talk about the heritage and traditions of our lifestyle and a set of values that we learn from the good book. So it has been a real unique experience for me to be the honorary chairman for 26 years. But Father Time is a tugging on my coattails and throwing obstacles in my path. And I think it's time that I get out of the way, and I'll tell you what we're going to do a little bit later. But one of the things that makes this the greatest nation on the face of this earth is that we get to individually own land, utilize it while we're here, and pass it on to future generations. And you've heard me say before, and I'll say it again, that I believe with all my heart that private ownership of land is the single most important element in the progress and security of a free and independent society. I've kicked up the hidden mesquite roots and rocks from the place where I spread out my bed. I'm laying here looking at a sky full of stars with my hands folded up beneath my head. And tonight there's a terrible pain in my heart, like a knife. It cuts jagged and deep. This evening the windmiller brought me the word that my granddaddy died in his sleep. So I saddled my gray horse and rode out to this hill where when I was a youngster of 9, my grandfather said to me, "Son, this is ours. It's yours, your daddy's, and mine." He said my granddaddy settled here after the war. That new tank's where his house used to be. He wanted to cowboy and live in the West, come to Texas from East Tennessee. And the longhorn were wild as a deer in them breaks, and with a long rope he caught him a few, and with the money he made from trailing them north, he proved up this homestead for you. When the railroad got closer, they built the first fence where the river runs through the east side. Then when I was a button, they built these corrals, and that winter my granddaddy died. Said my father took over and bought up more range. With purebreds he improved our stock, and windmills looked like they grew out of the ground. Then that land got as hard as a rock. And during that dust bowl we barely hung on. The wind tried to blow us away. But it seemed that the Lord took a liking to us. He kept turning up ways we could stay. As my father grew older, he gave me more rain. We had paid for most all of this land, and by the time he went on, I was running more cows, and your daddy was my right-hand man. his eyes got real cloudy, and he took off in a trot, and I watched as he rode out of sight. And though I was a child, I knew I was special. And I'm feeling that same way tonight. Not many years later, my daddy was killed on a ship in the South China Sea. For 20-odd years now, we've made this ranch work. 2 cowboys, my granddad, and me. And now that he's gone, things are certain to change, and I reckon that's how it should be. But 5 generations have called this ranch home, and I promise it won't end with me, because I've got a little one home in a crib. When he's old enough that he'll understand, from the top of this hill, I'll show him his ranch, because like me, he was born to this land. We're all born to this land. And it's up to every one of us to keep it alive and safe and healthy for future generations. We are the most fortunate people on the face of the earth. We feed all of our population and about 1/4 of the rest of the world with 1.7% of our total population. So we have the most advanced, the most economical, the safest, and the most efficient food supply on the planet. And we need to take care of it. Our agricultural community is our #1 asset. All of these years, I've loved to write songs and poems about the people that I know the best, and that's the people in agriculture. And I wrote a song called The Wagon Tongue, laying underneath a tree out on the Brazos River one night, Don Edwards singing about the North Star. And I realized that when those cattle got to the Red River, there weren't any big hills off out in the distance and no big trees along the line of sight. The only way they knew to take the herd off the bed ground the next morning was the direction the cook had pointed the wagon tongue. And if he could see it, he always pointed it to the North Star. Jake Hooker, sing about it.
Hired out Colonel Slaughter, driving steers to Abilene, green and wet behind the ears, a kid of 17. Though I was raised in Texas, I was not a seasoned hand, so I got the job of Hoover, the Coosie's right-hand man. Now on the Llano Estacado, all you see is endless plains. You dread the sound of thunder, there's no shelter from the rain. Well, now Coosie did a strange thing when the evening meal was done. Well, he'd wait until the stars were out, then move the wagon tongue. He said, son, there ain't no landmarks on these wide and rolling plains. Ain't no trees or mountains, so each day it looks the same. But you'll never lose direction, and you'll know just where you are. You'll always point the wagon tongue toward the old North Star. Then out beyond the Cimarron, one cold and stormy night, I watched the cattle stampede in the lightning's eerie light. It took several days to round them up, get them settled down. We followed with the wagon through the soft and muddy ground. Well, as we pushed the herd across the plains, had no way to know. We had drifted way off course towards New Mexico. But then that night the stars came out, his theory stood the test. Abilene's up north of us, but we were headed west. And he said, son, there ain't no landmarks on these wide and rolling plains. Ain't no trees or mountains, so each day it looks the same. But you'll never lose direction, and you'll know just where you are. You'll always point the wagon tongue toward the old North Star. My life has been a full one, my hair is turning gray. I've seen a lot of sunshine, but I've seen some cloudy days. For a while I One may lead to pleasure and another lead to pain. But you'll never lose direction and you'll know just where you are. You'll always point the wagon tongue toward the old North Star. No, you'll never lose direction and you'll know just where you are. You'll always point your wagon tongue toward your own North Star. Fantastic. What a song, what a message. There always is in Red Steagall songs. And we're going to do one of my favorites, and I know if you're a cowboy in here, this is definitely one of your favorites. It's one that Larry Mahan inspired. It's called Dawson Legate. It goes like this. Well, he's hung his old saddle up high in the barn. Made her a promise that his cowboy's done. Said I've won them big buckles, done all I could do. But I'm ready to spend my last years here with you. Said we'll break out them flat lands that ain't been plowed for years. We'll plant wheat and white oak, they'll do well up here. Then I'll buy us some baldies to run in the hills. Then I'll break out some bad ones to help pay the bill. 'Cause the winters get long about a bird away. Clouds get so dark at times there's no light of day. And the long nights get lonely and cold while she waits, as she dreams of a cowboy named Dawson Legate. Well, he made it just fine till the harvest was done. Then his feet started itching, well, he wanted to run. He quietly entered the cavalry stampede. Then the first that he took just put wings on his feet. And she cried when he showed her the money he'd won. She knew by the first light of day he'd be gone. But he promised he'd quit when the season was through, that he'd be home to plant wheat winter winds blew. 'Cause the winters get long about a bird away. Clouds get so dark, times there's no light of day. And the long nights get lonely and cold while she waits, as she dreams of a cowboy named Dawson Legate. Now the summer went fast, he was riding home, and he placed high at Cheyenne and a first at Sioux Falls. He was sending home money, his intentions were good. But then life or a cowboy don't go like it should. 'Cause he drove him a bad one at Frisco's that fall. Was a mean one to ride, was a shoot by Tom. And the first jump he stumbled, fell and he rolled, as his neck snapped like straw. Dawson's body grew cold. Well, now the ragweed's taking the flatlands again. There's a few strands of wire where the fences have been. The baldies are starving in the hills where they graze. While she's rocking the first son of Dawson Legate.
Fine job. Our thanks to Jake Hooker and Red's band, the boys in the bunkhouse, for those longtime favorites of Red's fans and our telethon audience. Now, Red Steagall certainly is an integral part of the rehab story since he first became involved, as he said a moment ago, as ambassador for the center back in 2000. He joined our telethon team later, and here he is after all these years, still sharing his acclaim and prominence to inspire the patients, encourage the staff, and promote the rehab center. Please watch this video tribute to a remarkable gentleman, Red Steagall.
I was the oldest. My mother depended on me for things that you wouldn't necessarily depend on a child anywhere from 5 to 15. It wasn't anything for me to walk a half mile to the store when I was 5 and 7 to get groceries. And knowing that, I just knew it had to be done. Mother couldn't do it. Daddy wasn't there. I was the oldest. It was my responsibility. I had an offer for a scholarship to Texas A&M to play football. And that was my junior year. And the morning before the first game was when I went to the hospital with polio. So that part of my dream was over with, because I wanted to go to A&M, play football, and get a scholarship to go to Texas A&M veterinary school. So that dream had to change. And I don't remember even ever thinking, well, why'd that happen to me? I remember thinking, well, that happened to me. Now I got to do something about it. So I started making decisions to change. And there's not a day goes by in my life. If I want to pick up something, I can't just reach down with 2 arms and pick it up. I have to figure out how I can pick that up and move it to where I want it to be. That's a very elementary example, but that's the way my life is. And so I take life as a lesson every single day. And that experience with the polio taught me never to take anything for granted. And if somebody says that can't be done, that just means they don't think they can do it. The cow country of West Texas only has one story. And it's about a group of people who risked everything they had to provide a way of life for themselves and their families. And today, those same people, not the same individuals, but the same group of people, still work in the cow country. They still work cattle horseback, providing beef for the dinner tables of America. That's their reason for being there. And because of their ancestry and the way they were raised, they have a set of values that exists nowhere else in our society in a particular group of people altogether. And that's honesty and integrity and loyalty and work ethic, dedication to your family, conviction about your belief in God, and practicing common decency and respect for your fellow man every day you live.
My dad was a Methodist preacher at Dumas, Texas when I was a little boy. And Red had a mutual friend that was a member of my dad's congregation. He got hurt in a car wreck, and so we'd go to Amarillo every Saturday and visit him. He was in the hospital a long time. And that's the first time I ever met Red Steagall. That's a long time before I was grown. I was just a little guy, and that's a long time before he was famous. I didn't even remember his name. All I knew is that I'd met a red-headed guy that I really did like. Several years later, my dad told me that the guy that I liked so much was the guy that was singing on the radio. And I thought I was a pretty cool guy. I knew Red Steagall.
Well, I've known Red Steagall for almost 60 years, and it goes back to our days in college at West Texas State up in Canyon. And we were fraternity brothers with Kappa Alpha. And Red was a couple of years ahead of me, so he was, when I was a pledge, I was, of course, meeting all the members of the chapter, and Red made a strong impression.
We've just been immediate. We've been close friends, as is almost everyone that he knows, close friends with him.
Red Steagall, he's been a friend for a long time, and honestly, I don't know for how long, but many, many years. And he's a good friend.
Wow, Red is the guy that always shows up. We've called and invited him to many things, to participate, to host, to have conversation, and he travels more than anybody we know, but he always shows up.
Who is Red Steagall? Red Steagall is integrity. Red Steagall is pure He is honest. And I mean, these are the words that come to my mind whenever you say Red Steagall. And I think if you ask anybody, who is Red Steagall, I think those are the words that come up to everybody. Because everybody that I say, you almost feel a sense of pride whenever you speak of Red Steagall. That's what I get anyway.
Well, Red, I want to tell you, I don't know of another person that's done as much for the agricultural industry as you have, and passionate about preserving the Western way of life. And what you've done for me, being my friend, is unmeasurable, as well as what you've done for the West Texas Rehab Center. You took it to a new level, buddy, and I'll always appreciate you for it. And I'm grateful every day that God blessed me with a relationship with you as my friend.
Red, you've been a very important person for the rehab. You've done a lot of very good things, and I'm very, very proud to know you. And Gail, you all have been a great team. Thank you.
And it's made such a difference for so many people.
What does Red Steagall mean to me? Everything. I tell him all the time, if it wasn't for you, Red, I wouldn't be where I am today. And he always said, hey, you'd been there. You might have gotten there a different way, but I wouldn't have wanted a different way, Red. I'd want it to be with you, because you are the biggest hearted, most lovingest man I ever met in my life. I love you with all my heart, and congratulations tonight. I wish I could be there with you and hug your neck and enjoy all the fun you're having. But you're surrounded with love and people who love you so much, and I'm sending all my love to you. I love you.
There's never been a nicer person, a more gentleman, easy, just a very relaxed, wonderful guy that I just absolutely love to death. He is a true cowboy, and I know the legacy that he's going to leave there with the West Texas Rehab and just the Western way of life, and kind of advocacy too for our great state and our wonderful country, the American dream. Red Steagall, I absolutely love you to death, and I think anybody else that comments or anybody that you've ever met would say the same thing. You're a great person. Stay great, buddy. We love you.
Red, thank you for being genuine, for being a role model, and for being just who you are for guys like me to look up to, and to never doubt the kind of person you are, the kind of man that you are, solid as a rock. And I just genuinely thank you for loving me. You've loved me, and you've helped me. Man, I just thank you for it, because, and again, it's who you are. It's not because I'm something special. You'd love me even if I didn't sing or do this or do that. So just thank you. I love you. Thank you.
No, there are not many people that I've met in my lifetime that are Red Steagalls. I'll tell you, he's one of a kind, and I've just been blessed with the relationship that we've had, and certainly the opportunity to have him be part of the West Texas Rehab has just been a real blessing for us.
You know, Red Steagall started as our representative with the West Texas Rehab 26 years ago, and what a friendship that has evolved over the last 26 years. And you know, I've never heard anybody say anything bad about Red, and he's just he's an American icon. He's a West Texas legend, and he's just done so much for the West Texas Rehab as far as bringing people, you know, together, and you know, people come to our events just to hear him speak and enjoy hearing his stories and his poems and all of those things. And you know, Red's become a great friend, and you know, as a guy, you know, it's one of the lessons Red taught me early on. It's okay to tell another guy you love him, and he never finishes a conversation that he doesn't say, "Hey, Steve, I love you," and he calls me Stevie, and he says, "Hey, Stevie, I love you," and I said, "Hey, Red, I love you too." And kind of has taught me over the years it's okay to be humble, to be vulnerable, and to just do the right thing. And Red, love you, brother, and thank you for all that you've done for us over the last 26 years.
There's a lot of words of praise there, my friend.
Boy, that's I don't know how to accept that. It's too good. But I bless all of you who had anything to do with that. And thank you for your friendship and for your love and understanding and patience with me at some time. But you know, because of our agricultural society, we pass on almost everything from one generation to the next. And so it's come that time in my life when I need to get out of the way and let somebody else take over. And so born to this land means exactly the same thing that's happening tonight. This is my swan song. And I'm leaving it in the hands of one of the most unbelievable men I've ever known. He's a great Christian. He's a wonderful family man and a truly genuine guy. He's your kind of people. All of you who are watching this know him because you either grew up with him or you've danced to his music all over West Texas. Yeah. And Jake Hooker is as good as they get, and he will do you a marvelous job. And I feel real good about leaving this whole thing in his hands. But it's awfully sad for me tonight to know that I won't get to see all these wonderful people that I've made friends with over the years and have become a very important part of my life and Gail's life. We'll never forget you, and I hope there'll be times that we'll get to see you. So thank you so much.
Well, that was a wonderful tribute. That was really nice. And now for a special presentation, with me are Steve Martin, President and CEO of the Rehab Center, and Board Chairman Steve Smith of Sweetwater. Gentlemen.
You know, Red, as you're aware, Shelley Smith was our first president and CEO. And, you know, he had a passion for the Rehab Center, had a passion for our patients and our staff. And, you know, he had the capability of getting people on board all the time to support the rehab. And his whole dream was to provide care to patients regardless of their financial circumstance. And so when he passed away, we created the Shelley V. Smith Award to honor folks who just got on board like you have for the last 26 years.
Red, on behalf of the West Texas Rehab Center, our board of directors, our staff, and our patients, it's a great honor for me to present you with the Shelley V. Smith Award. And Red, we love you, and we love everything you've done for us.
Thank you, Stevie. Thank you so much. It's hard for me to imagine that I did enough to justify that, but I'm eternally grateful. And I'll never forget tonight.
Thank you, brother.
Be proud.
Thank you.
Thank you, Red.
Red, the Rehab family loves you and admires you for these many years of service we've talked about, and we'd like to again bring on Jake Hooker and his band, The Outsiders. Now, for those of you connecting with Jake for the first time, Jake is a native of West Texas. He was introduced to traditional country music by his father, Tommy, and his mom, Carol, acquainted him with rodeo and the cowboys, so he knows firsthand about what he sings. Got to do some bragging on Jake, too. Among his many awards are Texas Traditional Country Artist of the Year and his induction into the Texas Cowboy Hall of Fame. Red, let's turn it over to him. Ladies and gentlemen, again, Jake Hooker and the Outsiders.
Thank you very much. Hey, and one more time for Red Steagall. Would you join me? Absolutely. Thank y'all. Well, we're sure thrilled to be back on the stage to help honor our good friend Red Steagall and support the Rehab Center. And Red has been such an important person in my life and such an inspiration in my career. He loves the Rehab Center, as you can tell, and everything that the rehab represents and everyone that it serves. So we encourage you tonight to make your gifts to support the center and to help us honor Red. And we've got a special musical tribute we're going to do to you, Red. I've put together out of your 200 songs and poems that you've written, I could only fit 13 into this 7-minute segment right here. But we're going to take you on a journey through Red Steagall music, and for all you cowboys out there, you're going to know this as we go, and I hope we do something that sure strikes a memory with you, because we love it. This is on our playlist all the time. Well, the sun just stuck below the hill, and behind the chutes in Jacksonville, a taxi turns a cloud of Texas dust. Banding out at Hawk House here, they've only run 2 head of steers. He's got lots of time to saddle up. And we're singing this for all our cowboy friends. And we'll sing it all together in Fort Worth, Denver, San Antonio, El Paso, Cheyenne. Well, the year was 67, National Finals Rodeo. December was Friday night that all riders know. There's cowboy heroes made and born at rodeos like this, 'cause the cowboys are the toughest and the stock's the best there is. And tonight we'll write history's made a cowboy gain a crown. His bull is called Tornado and the cowboy Freckles Brown. Look out, boys. Well, every cowboy's got this one in his saddlebag and can sing every word to it. Bandito go. Think of all the mighty rivers we've crossed, all the mountains we've climbed. Bandito go. Think of all the outlaw bands we've captured single-handed in our mind. Bandito go. Well, the honky-tonk side of Red Steagall, my favorite part. Well, they call me Texas Red, and I'll get up and sing, and I'll make you feel that you're from Texas too. Well, they call me Texas Red. Get out on the dance floor, and I'll sing you another round of Texas blues. Rodeo, you're a part of America, the outdoor dream every youngster needs. And if I could have one wish, my only prayer would be, don't let the cowboy be a dying breed. He was born and raised in Natchez, the daughter of a wealthy Natchez man. Never wanted for a thing in life that her folks didn't lay right in her hand. Well, he drove the finest car, lived in an antebellum home. Only knew about the finer things in life till I came along. From right there in 74, I got a call from baby brother just this morning. Said, Daddy's working hard, the crops are good. He said, Mama's black-eyed peas are about the best she's ever had. He said that life in Coleman County ain't so bad. From that same album called Finer Things in 1974 came this one. Someone needs you more than flowers need the sunshine. And there's not a minute that you're not a part of me. Someone loves you more with every day that passes. If you haven't guessed by now, that someone's me. Well, just outside of Gainesville, Texas, I met love, a girl named Alexis, long blonde hair, the bluest eyes you see. We'll set 'em up It's all on me. This one is for the memory of my sweet Alexis, Gainesville, Texas queen. Well, Lone Star Bear and Bob Will's music. When I hear faded love, I feel at home. Well, Lone Star Bear and Bob Will's music have kept my heart alive since you've been gone. Here we go again. She's back in town again, and I'll take her back again one more time. Well, he come rolling into Dallas in a big old double trailer diesel rig, and it just as luck would have it, well, the driver let him down in front of this old honky where I picked. He played a good old country breakdown like you've never heard a breakdown played before. Then he made you feel like your part of faded love and cheap heart, topped it off with a rough Simon song. Then he played a verse of Uncle Pim, the crowd roared, and he played a hymn. They bought him beer till he couldn't drink no more. And before we knew what he had done, buttoned that old fiddle up, caught himself a ride on down the road. And I was born to be a cowboy, full of dreams and broken bones. God, it ain't an easy life, but it's the one I chose. And I was born to be a champion, I can feel it in my soul. Every time I win, it keeps driving me on. Keeps driving. I love you, Red. Me on.
Nice work. Wasn't that something how he tied all that together? It was wonderful, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
Oh.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Jake.
For everything you've done, and I look so forward to sometime you might need a little advice. So call me.
He's got you on speed dial, trust me, all right?